How many times did I wear a purple tie to school?
27, 100.
Never is correct. Excellent, Jessica.
All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. This is Brandon coming to you with something a little bit different. I like to do something a little bit different when my Saturday videos publish. As of the publishing of this video, it's Saturday anyway. You might be watching it on a different day. But anyway, this is a request that came in from a Teacher's Pet level member. I'm sure you're aware we do have a membership program. There is Hall Pass, Honor Roll, Teacher's Pet, and Principal's Office level members. And if you're an upper level member, you tend to get special perks, which includes often more influence on future content. So this was just something that they wanted me to take a look at. Hopefully you enjoy it as well. This is a brief cut from a movie called Judy Moody and the Not Bummer Summer. I wanted to make sure I said that correctly. It's really easy to mess up, but I assume that most of this movie is about the summertime. They've asked me to take a look at the beginning, which does apparently have some school scenes in it, so I'm really excited about that. Just briefly, I'll mention if you're not a subscriber to the channel, do take a minute and subscribe using the button below. It doesn't cost anything, unlike a channel membership, but I do appreciate the support of the channel members also. But let's go ahead and get into this video or this portion of the movie.
Judy, you almost ready? The bus will be here in 5 minutes.
Uh-huh, I'm totally almost ready.
Good. You don't want to be late for the last day of school.
Last day of school, okay. So I didn't really have any context here other than knowing that most of the movie is about summer, hence the title, and apparently this is the last day of school. So just a couple of comments right off the bat. The mom says, "Are you ready? The bus will be here in 5 minutes." That is a very real thing. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced that. What I mean is being like almost late for the bus. That happens a lot. How do I know that? Because as an administrator at various schools that I've served at as an assistant principal and as a principal, you would deal with that a lot. Students who miss the bus, or parents who call into the school because they miss the bus, or parents that show up late with their kid because they missed the bus. Very, very real. And I remember as a student, certain times having to really rush and run out there because they will leave you. A lot of times, if the bus driver knows the route really well or knows the student really well, they might wait for a minute. But that's it, because they have other students to get to, and especially in a large school district, there is a very specific time that the bus has to be at certain locations, otherwise the driver can get in trouble. And also, nowadays, they actually have GPS trackers on the buses, believe it or not. Some districts choose to make that publicly available, but far more common is that's just the transportation supervisor or whatever, so that, let's say there's an accident, the transportation supervisor can see exactly where the bus is and go straight to it. If someone is wondering or someone disputes, hey, the bus never came by my house and my kid was late, or they never got to school when they were supposed to, and it's the bus's fault, they can go back and say, hey, actually the bus did go by there, your kid just wasn't there. Those tracking systems are used for a variety of things. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's watch a little bit more of this scene here.
Shh. Help me, Mouse. Where am Hairbrush.
And I noticed she put on flip-flops. Some of you may know that that's not allowed in most schools, at least nowadays. Now, I will say this is the last day of the school year. Things tend to be just a little bit more lax. I'm not saying the rules all go out the window, but because principals know that people think this way, and so they are sort of on guard the last day of school because they know crazy stuff can happen because people think there's no rules. That's not at all the case. Now, every single school I've ever been at as a teacher, assistant principal, or a principal, it is a little bit more lax. And some schools may have a special event on the last day of school where they may just go ahead and say, we're going to do a relaxed dress code or whatever, and they may even allow that. I don't know. Flip-flops would be a little far because of some safety issues with that. But yeah, she's just grabbing her stuff and getting out there. We'll see what happens.
Here, push. See, here's the thing, Mouse. You know how every summer is S for Snoresville? Because all I ever do is visit Grandma Lou and get a sunburn and pick my scabs and watch TV. And it's not even cable. But this summer's going to be different. Because
Cable. You can tell this one's a little bit older when she talks about cable. I don't know how many people still do that with the prevalence of internet platforms like YouTube. I encourage you to watch YouTube. We all benefit from that. But she's describing her normal summer, and I guess she doesn't want to have that this summer, but we're going to look at this school scene here coming up.
I have a plan. A PLAN for the most super duper double rare, not bummer summer ever.
There's the title. She taking her cat to school? Oh my goodness. Did you see the amount of syrup that kid put on his breakfast? And there are kids like that. I saw, not to pass any judgment on any stereotypes, but I saw what that kid looks like. He looks like a hyper kid. He looks like a super hyper kid that does not need any syrup. And I see this mom is like, yeah, she knows what's going to happen after he eats this.
Hey.
Look, Dad.
Nice.
Hi. Beat you to the basting. Bye.
Okay. All right.
Is that a new trend? Wearing pajamas to school?
Just be happy she remembered her shoes.
Yeah, and I've heard comments from parents like that from time to time about different kids. And like I said, it's the last day of school. No one's going to care quite as much. Now, if you show up in something really super crazy, you may get sent home or have your parents called. But on the last day of school, there are certain things that the administration may let slide depending on the school, given that it's the very last day of school.
Rocky! Judy!
Okay.
Last day, no more homework, no more tests, no more big face finish the pest. Yeah.
True. Until next year. All right, now this this is probably too far. Now, the last day of school, everybody is really, really excited about it. Teachers and students alike. Principals are excited about that too. Actually, they're sort of on guard, like I said earlier. They're really on guard because they know that this is a day where it's a bit more likely that something crazy is going to happen than other days of the year. So they're excited, and there's a lot of levity and excitement, but they are on guard as well. Now, this is sort of crazy and shouldn't be happening as far as people throwing stuff and, whatever. Now, there's usually some sort of different activity or event. I don't know how much instruction typically happens on the last day of school. There should be something of value, but there's not going to be a test like that kid at the bus stop was saying. No more tests, no more homework. Yeah, I mean, that is legitimately true until the next school year, but there should be something of value for the students. A lot of schools that I've seen actually release early the last day of school because they know stuff like this happens, so they might only go like a half day many times. But let's see what happens now that she's at school here.
What's with the Mr. Potato Head hair? I wouldn't talk Mr. Frank Eats Paste Pearl.
What are they doing with those Post-it notes? They're just like throwing paper everywhere. That's crazy. And where's the teacher? I say that a lot. Where are the teachers? I haven't seen a teacher yet here.
For me, FIEO, for your eyes only.
Okay.
And Amy and Rocky. TP meeting.
I don't know if kids pass notes anymore. This movie is a little bit older. Now, I remember being a teacher, and that was definitely the case. Passing notes, whatever. Cell phones were not quite as prevalent, and a lot of times they were banned in schools. And it was, when I started teaching, it was a relatively new thing, believe it or not. People having widespread use of cell phones. You just didn't see it often, particularly at this age. But let me know in the comments, do kids still pass notes at school? I don't know how much that's really done because they know they can just, text them, and there's zero possibility of anybody else seeing it unless the other person is not careful with their messages.
After school for way important summer play.
Okay. What? Is that the teacher? Is that the principal? I don't know how effective this light on and off thing is. Maybe that's part of their school culture and they kind of know that. But I've seen various things, especially in elementary school. Now, most of my experience has been in middle school and high school, but I've definitely been in some elementary schools, and I have a lot of elementary school principal colleagues. And there are a wide variety of techniques to get a bunch of kids' attention like this at this age. They're sort of hyper and all over the place. And, you know, their attention span is not great, and their ability to focus is not as good. You know, that comes with time. So you've got all sorts of things like lights on and off. Yeah, I've seen that, or some sort of loud noise, or, you know, just walk in the room with your hand up, or some sort of countdown. I hear that a lot. Or, you know, if you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. That whole deal. Let me know if you know of one that I didn't mention here.
What's going on?
That is not what I thought he would sound like. And I saw the paper airplane. That's another thing that I don't really see that often. There's certain things in TV and movies in classrooms that you see a lot that don't really happen in real life. I usually mention, like, in any sort of science class, you've got the random colored liquids, which you just don't have that. But in this case, it's the paper airplane. Have I seen a paper airplane be thrown in a classroom before? Yes, but it is sort of rare. I mean, you let me know in the comments, but it's sort of rare that you see stuff like that.
Is it the last day of school or something?
Yes. Yes. Maybe he's playing around.
Don't get too excited. There's still 3 hours and 27 minutes until summer officially begins.
Okay. So this teacher, I'm guessing this is a teacher, was sort of playing around, being like fake serious and saying, is it the last day of school or something? And then I saw him smile. You know, that's not bad. I could see a teacher doing that in real life. And he says there's another 3 hours. So I'm guessing they're doing some sort of early release or whatever, because it looked like that would be like 12 o'clock or whatever. And I mentioned earlier that a lot of schools do that. In other words, they release earlier than they might otherwise in a normal day.
In fact, guess what I have here? Hot off the press. A pop quiz.
What? No way.
Seriously?
On the last day of
Just a few questions to make sure that you're paying attention.
I wonder if it's about the content or not. I can see a teacher doing this where it's like about fun stuff, you know? This teacher seems like a good teacher so far. I don't know anything about him, but I want to see what this is. Is it a real pop quiz about like their course content? I sort of doubt it, but you know, that could be legitimate if he just wants to know, you know, how far they've come. Or is it like, what are you going to do this summer? You know, I bet it's something like that, especially given the theme of the movie. What are you going to do this summer? What plans do you have? That seems kind of fun.
All right. Question number 1. How many times did I wear a purple tie to school?
27, 100. Never.
Never is correct. Excellent, Jessica.
Thing-face Finn strikes again.
Question number 2. How long did it take our class to go around the world? You guys are breezing through these. These are too easy for you. I gotta go deeper.
Okay.
Let's see.
And I like this so far. Really kind of lighthearted, but still loosely connected to their actual class. You know, I don't hate this here.
Let's see here. Ooh, oh, this is a good one. This is a big one. Mucho grande.
Come on.
Okay. Can anyone guess? And this means you, Class 3T. What I, Mr. Todd, will be doing this summer.
I probably wouldn't have asked that because you're going to get some pretty crazy responses.
We need a clue. Give us a clue.
Oh, don't roar. Don't roar. Let's see. Ooh, I have the perfect clue. The clue is...
Cold?
Cold.
Okay.
Oh, refrigerator salesman.
Not bad.
I knew we forgot.
That's clever.
Polar trainer.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, it's not that great of a clue. And he looks over and sees Antarctica. Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty impressive, wouldn't it?
Antarctica is cold.
Yeah. What's going on here? What's going on here? And I don't know, can you just travel to Antarctica? I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of way you can do that, but I know it's mostly inhabited by researchers and military personnel, etc. Or maybe not, maybe just researchers. But I don't know if you can just, if an ordinary person can just travel there. I don't know if that's a thing. Nice little animation here.
Mr. Todd?
Is that him?
Judy!
Oh, I know, you're going to Antarctica. The real one.
That's a great guess, but sadly, no.
The real
Any other
one.
guesses? No?
The real one. I don't know what the fake Antarctica is. Oh, she means like the poster. Or the imagined scenario in her head. She means the real one, not that one. Yeah, I don't know if you can do that. Let me know in the comments if you happen to know. Can you just travel to Antarctica like on your own or maybe as part of a special tour that exists? I don't know.
All right. Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
Got music.
Well, I come from the teacher's break room with a banjo on my knee.
Okay.
Now listen up, dear students. It's so elementary.
Okay.
Oh, class 3T.
You know, not bad. Look at the amount of Post-it notes on the floor. That is sort of crazy. The last day of school, yeah, a lot of fun does happen. Now, this might be an issue unless they just let them do that. I don't know. And you do see elementary school teachers do stuff like this, little gimmicks, because it works. It's very effective to have a little gimmick like this. Music can be very powerful. I don't think this guy's really playing the banjo, but in the movie, he's playing the banjo. Not bad. This is pretty good. A good little movie so far.
If somehow you find me, there's a prize, oh yes sirree.
Oh.
You'll see me at the mall, the pool, the park, and by the sea. And sometimes you'll find me at the public library.
Okay.
Oh, class 3T, you'll want to look for me. Cause if somehow you find me, there's a prize, oh yes sirree.
Okay.
You'll see me at the mall.
I don't know if I would do that. I mean, kudos for him, for, I guess, keeping them engaged somehow during the summer, but they're not going to have his class anymore. In elementary school, typically, you have a different teacher every year. Now, I've seen it where a teacher will move up a grade, like the principal may choose to move the teachers around from grade to grade, and I've seen it where the teacher moves up and has the exact same class for another year. That tends to be pretty cool, but I don't know if he should be challenging them to, find him. Most teachers need a break as well, so I've never seen a teacher do quite this before. Okay. Class 3T. And I don't see this, at least where I live. I've heard of it other places. What I mean is calling elementary school classes by a number or, a letter or whatever. They usually just go by the teacher's name. All right. Are they out? They're out for the summer. Wow.
Let's go. Have a great summer.
Yeah?
Mr. Todd, stay warm.
I will. Stay Judy.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. Ooh, she fell right on the concrete. Goodness. And, that is kind of how it goes the last day of school, especially at elementary school. It's a really sweet time. I would say in high school, as a principal, I was sometimes worried about, okay, is this kid going to try and pull something or maybe a prank or something? Usually not. Usually people are just really excited in a positive way to get out, and it's a really kind of lighthearted, positive time. All right, that was it. At least that was the school scene that the Teacher's Pet Level channel member told me about or wanted me to take a look at. Not a bad movie, at least the part that I saw. I know there's much, much more, but I wanted to at least catch this school scene, which was the last day of school, Judy Moody and the Not Bummer Summer. I think I said it correctly there, but enjoyed that. Hopefully you enjoyed my reaction to that piece of it. Let me know if there's a movie that you'd like me to take a look at least a school scene or two. It's difficult for me to do an entire movie, to react to the whole entire thing, but I can definitely do parts and school scenes. So let me know in the comments if there's one that you'd like to see. If you're interested in channel membership, click the join button below to become a member. We have 4 different membership levels with various different perks associated with each one. And also subscribe. Subscribing doesn't cost you anything at all, and it supports the channel and ensures that you get to see all of my future content because it will kind of prompt you or notify you or let you know when I published a new video. But that's it for this video. I hope to see you on the next one here on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.